Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the Pedestal Wives Society. My name is Brill. Hello, Pedestal Wives. I'm just going to wait for a moment for everyone to get in a room. We're going to talk about abundance today. We're going to talk about the feminine rituals that attract more. So I'm going to give you a moment to get in the room to let me know if you can see and hear me. Once you get in the chat, please let me know because I don't want to continue talking and then find out later on that there was something wrong with the audio or the video. So I know that there's a lag between me and you. So I'm going to give it a moment for everyone to come in while I get set up to make sure everything is working properly. All right. So today, what we're going to be doing, we're going to be stepping into the frequency of abundance, not just money. We're going to take it a step further. We want to think about more along the lines of overflow, beauty, experiences, and opportunities. If you've ever felt like abundance was out of reach, then this video is going to help you to magnetize your life, to step into that frequency of overflow and turn everything into a everyday ritual. So I'm just going to give it a pause because like I said, I know there's a lag between me and you to start the video, but we're going to focus in on abundance today. Abundance is beyond money. When most people hear abundance, the only thing they think about is money, and that's okay, especially if that is what frequency you're wanting to align with. But I need you to think bigger. I need you to think about the next opportunity, next experience, the next thing that you want to multiply in your life. You want to get into the frequency of abundance because it is the inner frequency that brings resources. And so in this video, that's what we're going to focus in on. We're going to focus in making everyday activities, everyday things that you do, and bring them into the frequency of abundance. Hey, Hessie, good morning. Good morning. And I'm just going to take it to mean that you can see and hear me and everything is running smoothly. And I'm just going to keep going, as people come in to the live stream. One of the things I want to do in this live stream is I want to help women bridge the gap between spirituality and science. And that is what the ritual box will do for you. First of all, the feminine ritual box, which if you don't know by now, I have a collection coming out. It's going to drop soon. If you haven't joined the wait list, you may miss the collection because the wait list is growing. And I'm only going to give the women who are on the wait list the first opportunity to get their feminine ritual boxes. Okay. So the link is in the chat. If you want to jump in and get on the wait list, go ahead and do so. I encourage you to do so. Don't wait till you get to the website or you're going to find out that it's out of stock. But let's get back into this because this is important. Hey, Miss Feel Good. Hey. Every time I see your username, it makes me feel good. Like I said, you chose the perfect username to bring such good energy. You chose the perfect username. But let's jump into this here. The ritual box is the perfect bridge between spirituality and science. The reason why I am creating the ritual boxes that have particular tokens in them, because those tokens are meant to anchor in the frequency of your desire. So let's say, for instance, when it comes down to the overflow ritual box, that is to help fine tune your energy for abundance. Let's say a sacred union, that is to fine tune the frequency of love. Let's say it's the eclipse ritual box, that is to fine tune your frequency for power. Let's say it's the pretty girl ritual, that is to fine tune your frequency for self-confidence. The reason why I consider the ritual box a beautiful bridge between spirituality and science is because of the tokens that's going to be in the box. See, in psychology, I'm going to read this directly from my phone because I didn't want to mess up the long verbiage because it's science. In psychology, NLP, which is neuro linguistic programming, just in case someone wants to look it up afterwards, anchoring is when you connect a specific stimulus like a scent, sound, or gesture to an emotional state. Over time, that stimulus instantly brings you back into that state. For example, smelling vanilla might remind you of comfort and home. And so each token has been chosen specifically in order to fine tune the frequency and you bring you into this emotional state. Because what happens when we're living life, we tend to go in and out of frequency. And that is what I found to be the issue when I started my life and living it in ritual, is that life has a habit of lifing where you can be in this really state of abundance, love, joy, and then someone does or says something to ruin the experience and pulls you out of that state. Or you can be living your life in a sense of frequency of wealth and abundance and seeing dollar signs everywhere. And here comes a bill that you cannot pay. Here comes reality intruding on your emotional state and kicking you out the frequency. And that is the reason why I say the ritual boxes are the perfect bridge between spirituality and science. The ritual boxes bring the spirituality portion of faith and intention and purpose. And then you combine it with science, where you are utilizing tokens to anchor you back into the correct frequency so that you can have these resources come to you. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about getting into the frequency, fine-tuning the frequency for abundance so that resources will come towards you. You're not chasing anything. You're not pursuing anything. Only thing you're bringing is your faith. You're bringing your intention. You're bringing your energy towards it. You bring those things in it, and then you utilize the tokens within the ritual box to hold and maintain that frequency throughout your day. And so we went over the science portion of it and the reason why we have the reason why the ritual box is the perfect bridge between spirituality and science. And let's talk about certain tokens, okay? Certain tokens, there's certain things that make better tokens than others. And for specifically, if you're trying to fine tune your energy for abundance, then you want to align with gold coins, oranges, honey, candles, flowers. Let me give you an example of one of the tokens that's going to be in the overflow ritual box. Here it is. And it's just a crown on the front and the back. Let me show you the other side too. Just a crown on either side. And it's just a token to hold that frequency so that you'll have something of remembrance throughout your day, so that when things happen, life starts to happen, you will have that on your person, either in your purse or on your nightstand. You'll have it somewhere where you can kind of look at it and it brings you back to remembrance. So now let's jump into abundance rituals that I particular have. And this is probably the part where this part will probably not stay up. Okay, so I'm warning you. I'm warning all the pedestal art community. This is the parts that will not stay up. The other parts will. This part will not. So the first thing is getting in or creating your life or creating your space into maintaining that frequency of abundance. One of the things that I have done is I have created it through scent. I've created, when you walk through my door, there's these particular scent that just immediately puts me in a frequency of abundance. Okay. And then when you go to my bedroom, there's a particular scent that puts me in the frequency of love. And then all throughout my home, there's different scents that bring me back into that frequency, that immediately bring me back to memory, bring me back to remembrance, bring me back to the frequency that I desire in my home. And so that's the first thing I can give you. Instead of trying to create your home in a way that is, like everybody else's or just for aesthetic, I want you to think about creating your home in a place where it is ritual, where it has meaning, where it has intention, where there's purpose. And so when you walk through your front door, what would you like to bring in a remembrance? Do you, when you walk your front door, do you want to bring in remembrance of abundance? Or do you want to bring a remembrance of love? Or do you want to bring in a remembrance of power? Or do you want to bring in remembrance of family or togetherness? And that's the reason why each room in my home kind of has a different set, a different aesthetic, a different feel, because I'm living in ritual. I'm living in remembrance. I'm living in memory, so that I can constantly bring myself back to that frequency. So if I have a bad day out there, I guarantee you I won't have a bad day in here. And here's my sanctuary, and here's my temple. And the way it is set up so that I can always be in remembrance of that, and I don't lose that frequency of that energy. And I think that's also why I do my best work here. I do my best creative work in my home, because of the fact that I have each room is set up for a particular reason. Even my space where I'm journaling, meditating, and resetting and grounding, that brings me into remembrance and being in self-awareness of my desires and the things that I want out of life. So that particular space has a certain feel to it, a certain smell to it, has tokens. And so that's the first thing that I would give you. If you're trying to create a frequency, energy, don't just look at your spaces as something very aesthetic. Really create something from it. Be able to walk into a room and let it bring you to in remembrance of what you desire and what you want. Have your space bring in purpose and intention. Okay? So that's the first thing. The second tip that I can give you of getting into like that abundance frequency, that inner frequency that brings you resources, is a sweetness ritual. I think I shared this on a YouTube short, and I talked about utilizing this as a reset. If I've had a horrible day, one of the things I like, and it probably shows, okay, is that I like something that is sweet. Either that can be honey, tea, chocolate, or fruit. It can even be fruit. And when I am eating something sweet, I'm not just eating something sweet. I am resetting. I'm resetting from the day. Maybe the day was hard. Maybe I went through a lot of things. Maybe I made a lot of hard decisions, and I'm resetting. And so instead of me just, focus on the things that did not go right, or the things that I did not say or do well, or all of my mistakes, I take it as an opportunity to reset with something sweet. And resetting with something sweet doesn't mean that I'm just sitting back, in enjoyment of it. Of course, I'm enjoying it. Of course, it's something sweet. I love sweet things every once in a while. But what I am doing, I am imagining radiating sweetness. I'm imagining that my life is responding to wealth. And since I am coated with sweetness, wealth is responding to me. And it's drenching me in all of that sweetness and all of that attractiveness. I want you to think of this. When I think about this, I think about the fact that if you were to put something down on the ground, wouldn't ants be attracted to it? And if you put something sweet on the ground, ants are going to come faster than you can even call for them. And that's what that particular sweet ritual does. It makes you so sweet, makes you so yummy, makes you so attractive that wealth is attracted to you. Opportunities are attracted to you. Experiences are attracted to you. The next level is attracted to you. So I use this as an afternoon reset, and especially on those hard days, those days when it's not been a great day. Maybe things didn't go my way. Maybe things popped up I never expected. Maybe I had to have hard conversations, or maybe something just happened out of my control. So I always want to bring me back to center. I always want to make sure I anchor back into that frequency. I want to anchor back into that frequency of abundance, because I like things to chase me. I don't like to chase things. If you see me running, babe, you better run too, because there's something scary behind me, because I don't run. And so number 2 is sweetness, and taking the time to do a reset and bringing that frequency to you of abundance. Number 3 is remembrance, which is something I spoke about in the very beginning of this live stream, when I talked about how every room you walk in, you want it to have a memory. You want to remember. You want to bring you back to you. And that is where the coin comes into place. That is where if you get an overflow ritual box, you're going to get a gold coin. If you have a gold coin or money or anything on your person that has meaning of wealth or abundance, I want you to pull it out. I want you to pull it out. And then I'm going to wait for you in the comment section to say ready. And then we're going to go through and walk through a guided ritual. I'm going to make sure everybody's here with me. Everyone can hear me?